Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, Browns fans. I hope you're as excited as I am because the latest news coming out of Cleveland is quite a game changer. We're talking about a potential move that could shake up the team's receiver room and, more broadly, have serious implications for how the Browns approach this upcoming season. And this isn't just speculation. This is about a player who, despite some struggles in recent years, might finally be catching the right break, and Cleveland is right there, ready to take advantage. So let's set the stage. The Browns, as you all know, have been working hard in training camp, trying to solidify their roster for what promises to be an intense NFL season. One area that's been a concern, no, a challenge, is the wide receiver room. Outside of Jerry Jeudy, the Browns haven't had consistent, proven talent at that position. That's a problem when you're trying to build an offense that can compete with the best in the league. Having a reliable, dynamic receiver that can stretch the field, make tough catches, and help move the chains is essential, especially when your quarterback is still battling for that starting spot. Now, we all saw the scare with Cedric Tillman's leg injury during training camp. Naturally, it caused some concern among fans and analysts alike. But good news, reports indicate that Tillman is going to be okay. That's a relief, no doubt. Still, even with Tillman's recovery, the Browns need to be proactive. They need to look beyond what they currently have and explore options that can elevate this unit. And that's where the big news comes in. Cleveland is reportedly looking into a trade with the Tennessee Titans for Treylon Burks. Yes, you heard that right. Treylon Burks, a player who, despite a rough start in his NFL career, might be on the verge of turning things around. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Burks has had a tough time in the league so far. His production has been modest, just 699 yards and a single touchdown over 3 seasons. Last year, he only managed 34 yards across 5 games. That's not exactly eye-popping, but there's more to the story. Burks is entering the final year of his rookie contract, and he's actively trying to prove himself. Recently, he's shown flashes of the talent that made him a high draft pick, and his training camp performances have been encouraging, to say the least. In fact, the Titans' new quarterback, Cam Ward, has been quite vocal about Burks. He recently said, "He's going to be one of our best targets this year, just hope he stays healthy." That's a strong endorsement coming from a guy who's new to the team but already sees potential in Burks. And let's remember, Burks is still young, just 25 years old, and he's desperate to refine his game, to show that he can be the reliable, explosive receiver his team needs. But the Titans have a pretty crowded depth chart right now. Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Alik Iamanair, Van Jefferson, and Xavier Restrepo are all ahead of Burks on the depth chart. That means Burks isn't guaranteed a starting role, and that might make him available in a trade. For Cleveland, that's a golden opportunity. The Browns are in a position where they need to hit the ground running, especially with a quarterback competition involving Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett. They need weapons. They need speed, reliability, and versatility, something that can help whoever ends up under center. And here's the kicker, Burks, if he finally reaches his potential, could be that piece of the puzzle. He's a young, talented receiver with the physical tools to be a game changer, and his recent performances in training camp suggest he's beginning to put it all together. Think about it. Adding a player like Burks could take pressure off Jerry Jeudy, who's been the primary target, and add a new dimension to the Browns' offense. It's about creating more options, more unpredictability for defenses, and giving Cleveland a real shot at not just competing, but contending seriously in the AFC North. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The AFC North is one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers are always in the mix, and last season, the division was fiercely contested. The Browns, with their roster, have the talent to be at the top, but they need that extra spark, something to push them over the edge. If they can lock in a deal for Burks, they might just get that spark. It's also about the message it sends. Cleveland is willing to be aggressive, to make bold moves, and to do what it takes to win now. Looking at the team's recent history, they've often been on the cusp but haven't quite made that leap. The addition of Burks could be a catalyst. His speed and athleticism could open up more options in the passing game, especially in critical third-down situations. Plus, he's a guy who's hungry to prove himself, which is exactly the kind of mentality that can elevate a team. Cleveland has invested heavily in their defense, and now, with the right offensive pieces, they could become a more balanced, dangerous squad. But of course, nothing in the NFL is guaranteed. The trade talks are still in the early stages, and there are many variables, contract details, draft picks involved, and how Burks fits into Cleveland's offensive scheme. Still, the fact that Cleveland is actively exploring this avenue shows they're serious about making a push. They know they need more weapons, and Burks could be the perfect gamble. Someone with untapped potential who, with the right environment, could finally break out. Now, for Browns fans, this is a very exciting development. It's a sign that the front office is willing to be proactive, to take risks when necessary, and to prioritize winning this season. The AFC North is no joke, and if Cleveland can bolster their receiving core, they'll have a much better shot at not only making the playoffs but making some serious noise once they get there. Imagine a scenario where Burks, finally healthy and confident, becomes a key target, stretching defenses and making those big plays that can turn a game around. That's the kind of upside Cleveland is banking on. And let's not forget, this isn't just about talent, it's about strategy and chemistry. Burks coming into Cleveland would need to adapt quickly, learn the playbook, and develop chemistry with whoever is under center. But given his recent improvements and the coaching staff's focus on player development, there's a good chance that this move could work out in everyone's favor. So, Browns fans, keep your eyes peeled. This trade could happen faster than you think, and it could be one of the shrewdest moves the team makes all offseason. It's about more than just a player. It's about setting a tone, showing the league that Cleveland isn't here to just compete, they're here to dominate. And with the right pieces, that Super Bowl window could open wider than ever before. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. As we look ahead, the next few weeks will be crucial. The Browns will likely be monitoring the trade market closely, trying to strike the right deal for Burks. It's about being patient but also ready to act quickly when the opportunity arises. Cleveland's front office knows what's at stake. They know that adding a player like Burks, even with his recent struggles, could be the difference maker. And for fans, it's an exciting time. The team is making moves, they're thinking big, and they're not afraid to shake things up in pursuit of that elusive Super Bowl. So Browns fans, this is just the beginning. The season is approaching fast, and the potential addition of Treylon Burks could be the spark that ignites Cleveland's offense. Keep your fingers crossed, stay positive, and get ready to cheer even louder. Because, let's be honest, if this move happens, it could be one of the most exciting developments in recent Browns history. And I promise, I'll be here with all the updates, analysis, and insights as this story unfolds. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.